Hi, so I just finished a session of my course into Soul Wisdom, and the session was really powerful. So I just wanted to share some of the notes that came up within it. And we had just finished our first month. We were entering into the second month of the course, and the first month was all about meditation. And one of the participants was sharing how the last meditation we transversed, which was self inquiry, was really powerful for her. And being aware of awareness really facilitated her capacity to be with herself and be connected and integrated as she has just traveled back to her home from being here in Peru. And she was talking about a Jeff Foster quote that says about how the container that we live in is joy, and how this practice has supported her to really realize that container of joy. Excuse me. I'm gonna drink some water. Mm. And I was saying how I've also been really feeling that like part of my medicine has been how much can I choose joy in every moment and activate the flow of joy, and what movements and practices and expressions really bring me into a flow of a joy state. But then, even with that, even with these practices, so self inquiry and meditation in general allows us to feel the inner peace, the divinity that resides within, and return to that and be with that. But it's important to not bypass our strong emotions. And so, something I've been personally experiencing is that I'm having really big, intense emotions. And how can I allow the flow of those emotions to really be expressed, and how the expression of that does not deviate or connotate my divinity or my capacity to know myself, or the calm and serenity that is me, that is residing, like my deep emotions of sadness and rage. The expression of these does not in any way take away from the remembrance of who I am, and if anything it adds to it. And I really do feel like we are in a time where, in some ways, I do feel there are many aspects of meditation and mindfulness, you can say, that has been corrupted a bit by the patriarchy and the sense of silencing, and this idea of being calm and serene, and like always being okay, or something like how that is the highest value. But particularly for women, and for everyone, but particularly for women, we have there's so much in our history about being silenced. And something I've been feeling really present, and just recently, how so many women were sent to psych wards and given lobotomies for expressing themselves, and how their expression that was like outside of like a male contract was seen as literally crazy and insane, and they were sent to psych wards. And of course, mental health is present, and that's also something that people experience. But there's also just a sense of being an empowered, spoken, in interdependent person. Interdependent meaning dependent with the elementals and your emotions and your being. An expression of that for so long was stifled. And so now, as we are in a time where the grief and the wounds of the world are surfacing, the wildness of our emotions that are personal but also interpersonal, that all the times we didn't scream, all the times we didn't express ourselves, they're wanting to be expressed now. And they can be seen as, oh, I'm not being calm enough, or I have to be tranquility, or like take things lightly. And honestly, the moral mind has no place in the expression of ourselves. This idea of morality and what is good or right has nothing to do with like the expression and flow of love that is present through me and you and everyone. And if we can really trust ourselves enough to realign with the flow of energy as it flows through us with our emotions, and to be with our emotions from the understanding of our divine essence in our state, and come to a sense of self-trust, to know that my rage in this moment is sacred, my anger is sacred, my silence is sacred, my my capacity to be supportive and to receive support, like everything about me and you is perfectly divine. And to be passionate and empowered. And it's not always about this idea of being like the calm sitting Buddha. If you know Sarah Beek, I really love when she talks about Sarah Beek is an author, and she feels that she is Sarah, which is like the soul of the daughter of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And she speaks about like the rage of Jesus and Mary, and the movement and the energy that was so expansive. It was so human that it was divine, and so divine that it's human. And I really am feeling the resurfacing of the embodiment of this passion, and how the embodiment of this passion is perfectly present, and it does not take away from the serenity and divinity and peace and the tranquility that is you. That tranquility is always present, and we can always return to it. And that tranquility and that compassionate witness is, in some ways, is what, and when we're in that, when we have connection with that state of wisdom, that is what can witness and allow the fullness of our emotions, our perfect placed emotions, to be present. And in that, we can really trust that we're always in divine loving action, and we're true and rooted to ourselves, and it won't look like anything that we think it will look like. Something I'm really speaking about a lot now in the course and in general is, can we stop projecting ideas of what things should be? That the heart is loving, and the yoni is sexual, and there's sexual energy here, and there's this energy there. Can we really listen to what's present within us? Just listen to it. And in that state of listening, there's an emergence that can take place. Like, what is really here in our vagina or penis? What is really here in our solar plexus and our heart? Like, what's really present, and how does it really want to speak and be spoken? And I feel that is the tool that enables us to deeply trust ourselves, because we're not moving from a conceptual concept or idea that we have learned. We're actually moving from ourselves, from the truth and foundation of what we feel within ourselves. And there's something so rooted about that. There's a certainty that's also a fluidity that's possible, because we're moving from the grace of our personal being, and as individuated beings, we're all expressions of source energy, and together we compile a perfect, beautiful symphony. And so the more that I am in my perfect individuation, and every other person is, together we are able, I feel, to converge into a harmonic sound that is stunning and silent and a scream all at once. And it's sacred. All of it is sacred. So I really feel that meditation is so vital for us to return to our divine essence, our essential self, pure awareness. And then from that state, we may have large emotions, or as we experience life, and it's not to stifle them and to say that this isn't spiritual, or this is too much, or this is, I've left serenity. It's actually to witness with our wisdom, witness our wounds, and be with our wounds, and let them all be held in the container of joy and expression, because it's perfectly placed, and it's perfectly being called for in this moment. Our emotions are energy in motion. As our emotions are intensifying and rising, or things are around us, it doesn't mean we have to be so reactive to it, but we can be interactive within it from a state. I feel like our emotions are becoming like quantum mechanics, and as we're figuring out how to use the quantum mechanics of our energy, we might just be seen as, we might feel emotional, or we might feel X, Y, and Z, but I actually feel that energy is moving through us at a more rapid state, and it's wanting to clear out the stagnant energy that we have, all the traumas that we may experience, and that's left, so that we can actually be with the energy that's moving through us in a very conducive and like cohesive way, that honestly I don't even understand yet. I don't even know it yet, but I feel it happening. I feel we're on the precipice of doing amazing things with our energy and with our consciousness, and and our emotions are so vital in that expression. So cultivate a sense of inner peace, cultivate a sense of inner silence, and do not be afraid of making sounds. So much love and blessings to all of you. You might have a beautiful moment wherever this moment finds you.